Many thanks for joining us on the news update coming to you on the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. I am Chukwuemeka Anyakwa, and here are some of the stories we have for you at this moment. The Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Acnn, Bishop of Okeosun Anglican Diocese, has reiterated that the Nigerian nation is endowed with stupendous natural mineral resources and, if skillfully extracted, could make Nigeria become one of the richest countries in the world. Acnn made this submission while delivering his charge to the first session of the 9th Synod of the Diocese at St. Barnabas Anglican Church, Abuja, in Osun State. He appealed to those in charge of the collection of the ill-gotten wealth to do something remarkable with the loot while ensuring that the culprits are brought to book. Bishop Acnn urged every citizen of the country to work together, cooperating with the government of the day to move the country forward in commerce and industry. Speaking on the theme of the Synod, the Bishop of Okeosun Diocese said the faith and belief of many people are superficial, hence they receive the good news of Christ as second-hand. He said second-hand faith cannot be steadfast, but slippery and materialistic. The erudite scholar said that the love that Jesus has for his people is unimaginable, adding that Jesus' main assignment is to reconcile mankind to God. Bishops of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion in the northeastern part of Nigeria have appealed to the federal and state governments to ease the pain of Christians worshipping in destroyed buildings in the northeast. The bishops made this appeal at the enthronement service of the new Anglican Bishop of Damaturu, the Right Reverend Yohana Audu, at the Cathedral Church of All Saints in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital. The bishops assert that the Boko Haram insurgency has caused devastating damage to the churches across the state and the northeast as a whole, and want the governments to do something about it. They want the federal government to provide a conducive atmosphere for Christian worshippers in the affected areas of the state by restoring burnt church buildings. The new Bishop Yohana Audu complained bitterly that worshippers in various churches in Yobe State and the northeast in general have been sitting under the scorching sun for church services because burnt worship centers are yet to be rebuilt. Meanwhile, the outgoing Bishop Abiodun Olusegun, who has been translated to Zaria Diocese, stressed the significance of investing in education, noting that lack of education is one of the major causes of the Boko Haram conflict. The enthronement service of the new bishop brought together Christian faithful from across the state, the northeast, and the country at large. The new Bishop of Ekiti West Diocese in the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, the Right Reverend Rufus Adepoju, has revealed that his episcopacy will be geared towards pragmatic mission work and rugged evangelism to consolidate the efforts made so far by his predecessor. This is coming on the heels of his enthronement as the second Bishop of Ekiti West, a diocese which was created 18 years ago, with the Right Reverend Samuel Oke as the first bishop. He said part of his goal is to make the people of Ekiti West feel the relevance of the Church of God through evangelism, which he described as the bedrock of Christianity. The immediate past prolocutor of the Church of Nigeria, who spoke to ACNN News in a telephone interview, says that his plans, apart from changing the lives of the people in the diocese, is to achieve the core mandate of Christ, which is to depopulate the kingdom of hell and populate the kingdom of God. While commending his predecessor, the Right Reverend Samuel Oke, for the great works done in the diocese, Bishop Adepoju says there are challenges that may confront his ministry, but hopeful that God will be there to see him through.
And the area of the continuation is church and evangelism, and which is the bedrock of the church of God. The church of God is mainly to preach the gospel and to get people to the kingdom of God. So since they have started in November 22 of 1999, almost 18 years ago, and I'm going to step in there. I'm believing God that I'll be able to, number one in our vision is to have a pragmatic, rugged evangelism to villages, and to be able to do some church planting, and also to consolidate some of the churches that are there to make sure that those programs that were established some years ago will still be there continuously and continually, that we'll be able to see effectiveness and the relevancy of the Church of God to the people living in Ekiti West South. So this are few of the things I can believe God that we'll be able to do through the grace of God.
The Anglican Diocese of Enugu in the Church of Nigeria has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to throw in the towel if he can no longer perform, opining that the devastating health situation of the president is affecting the development of the country. This was part of the decisions taken by the church during her third session of the 16th Synod, which held at the Christ Redemption Church, Enugu. In a communique issued after the synod, which was signed by the Archbishop of Enugu Province and Bishop of Enugu Diocese, the Most Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Chukwuma, and others, the church said it took note of President Muhammadu Buhari's ill health, which has kept him out of office for long, thereby impeding the growth of the nation. The church, while praying for the speedy recovery of the president's health, further expressed sadness over the growing rate of herdsmen attacks on innocent citizens in various communities of the state, describing the attacks as senseless, barbaric, and inhumane. The synod ended with an appeal to the federal government to take proactive steps towards checkmating the activities of these Fulani herdsmen, as well as the hate speeches from different ethnic groups which are currently heating up the polity. If you just joined us, this is the news updates coming to you from the broadcast studios of the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. More stories when we return. Do join us again.
Ajayi Crowther University admission for the 2017-2018 academic session has commenced. Programs on offer include undergraduate, postgraduate, part-time, HND conversion, foundation and pre-degree in faculties of law, humanities, natural sciences, social sciences and management sciences. Our tuition is affordable and payable in 3 installments. Visit the university website at www.acu.edu.ng for online application, screening and admission letter. Given our state-of-the-art facilities, well-equipped library, decent learning environment, and distinguished lecturers, apply now by logging on to www.acu.edu.ng. For details, call 0814-592-0637 or 0810-440-8768. Ajayi Crowther University, raising godly intellectuals.
On the program this week, our Bible reading is taken from John chapter 15 verse 5, which says, I am the vine, ye are the branches. Whoever abideth in me and I in him, the same.
You're welcome back now to the foreign scene. The Episcopal Synod of the Scottish Episcopal Church has elected the Right Reverend Mark Strange, Bishop of Moray, Ross and Caithness, as Primus. Bishop Mark, 56, is the youngest member of the College of Bishops and was consecrated in his current diocese in 2007. He succeeds the Most Reverend David Chillingworth, who stepped down after 8 years in post. Brought up in Aberdeen, where he was both a choir boy and server at St. Andrew's Cathedral. Bishop Mark studied divinity at the University of Aberdeen, attended theological college in Lincoln, and has served in both the Diocese of Worcester and in the Diocese of Moray, Ross and Caithness. For a number of years, Bishop Mark was also a convener of the church's youth committee and ran the annual Summer Youth Camps at Glenamond. Bishop Mark takes up this role as a primate within the Anglican Communion at a point where the General Synod of the Scottish Episcopal Church has voted to permit same-sex marriage. That decision is expected to be on the agenda of the forthcoming primates meeting in Canterbury, which Bishop Mark will attend. Auckland's Holy Trinity Cathedral and the city's Shia Islamic community have been praised for coming together for a Ramadan fast-breaking meal. New Zealand's Human Rights Commission Race Relations Advisor Rakesh Naidu and Auckland Mayor Phil Goff congratulated the two communities for their mutual gesture of goodwill. About 200 Shia Muslims attended the iftar meal hosted at the Holy Trinity Cathedral Hall by cathedral staff and 30 parish volunteers. The organizer of the event, Reverend Bruce Keeley, who planned the iftar in conjunction with co-priests in charge at Holy Trinity, said that the gesture is to foster communal living and peaceful coexistence. And finally, the Archbishop in Jerusalem and the Middle East, Suhail Dawani, has installed 4 new canons at St. George's Cathedral in Jerusalem during an international Anglican pilgrimage. The Secretary General of the Anglican Communion, Archbishop Josiah Idowu Ferron, and the Archbishop of Hong Kong and Chairman of the Anglican Consultative Council, Pong Kwan, became Episcopal canons. The Bishop of Texas, Andrew Doyle, was installed as an honorary Episcopal canon, and the Provincial Secretary of Hong Kong, while Peter Coombe became an honorary canon. The new canon celebrated evensong at the cathedral in the company of clergy from not only the diocese, but from around the communion, including New Zealand, the USA, Ghana, Liberia, South Africa, Canada, Burundi, and the West Indies. His Beatitude Patriarch Theophilus III and Archbishop Aristarchus of Constantine were also present. The 4 newly appointed canons are participating in a pilgrimage to the Holy Land, being led by Archbishop Josiah Idowu Ferron. The group includes 5 primates, 5 members of the Anglican Consultative Council, 5 provincial secretaries, 5 members of the Compass Rose Society, and 5 friends of the Anglican Communion. And that's the much we can take on the news update, which came to you on the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. We thank you so very much for being a part of it. I am Chukwuemeka Lum Anyakwa. Stay blessed.